14 years old, and we went to Shakey's Pizza Parlor, and I saw a banjo, and I was kind of intrigued and wanted to, learn to play a banjo. But the turning point for me was when my dad brought a record home from the library. It was a recreation of an old minstrel show called Gentlemen Be Seated. And on that record, there was a song that brought us all together here today. If I hadn't heard this song on my dad's Magnavox Hi-Fi in those days, I probably wouldn't have taken up the banjo. I might have bought one, but I don't think I would have been serious about it. When I heard John Callie playing Oh by Jingo, I said, that's what I want to do with my life. Now, it's pretty lucky when you can find something at age 14 and say, that's what I want to do with your life. And here, 50 more years later, yes, do the math, that's what I've done. So I'd like to give you a taste of where we started. This is called Oh by Jingo. Oh. When I started playing the banjo, there were banjo players like John Callie and Ralph Collegio and all these guys who played very technical tenor banjo songs. They were fast and a lot of notes and single string things, and they were very exciting for a young person to listen to. When I started to write songs for the tenor banjo, I'd start with a title first, and it didn't matter what music was going to be there. I'd say, here's a clever title. So back in the 70s, when the economy was going up and down and doing all sort of stuff, I always heard this song or just words on the news, diminishing returns. I don't know if you can go back that far, but it was like, I don't know what it means either, because I don't have any money. But the diminishing returns stuck in my head, because in music, there's a chord called a diminished chord. And so I said, what I'm going to do is write a song around a diminished chord. And diminished chords, they're kind of exciting. You can use them for endings. And you can use them all over the place. So I wrote this little piece around a diminished chord that can move around on the banjo neck. And then, to completely fool the audience, I played part of the song without a diminished chord anywhere. And then, the diminishing returns. so much fun to play this stuff with the guys who can actually play. You know, these are wonderful musicians, and we rarely get a chance to do that. Many people who are in the know would not consider it a complete Johnny BAIER performance without a vocal.
Yes. All right.
Jeez, that was the worst reaction I've ever got to that. I have an affection for songs by Johnny Mercer, great lyricist who came up with so many wonderful tunes. And this next song is one of my favorite Johnny Mercer songs. It's all about sex. And all I can hope is that, having not performed this since the last time I did it for you, which is some years ago, that I remember the words, because Johnny Mercer was a wordsmith, and he had wonderful lyrics, and it would be a travesty to screw them up. Thankfully, Johnny Mercer is long gone, and a travesty may be about to happen. You know, a lot of people would not consider it a complete Johnny BAIER performance without one of his stunning vocals. Nothing yet. Here we go. A whole bunch was busy in a regular tizzy. The obvious reason is because of the season. My nature's lyrical with her yearly miracle. Spring, spring, spring. All the hen folk are hatching, all the men folk are scratching to ensure the survival of each brand new arrival. Each nest is wittering, they're all babysitting. Spring, spring, spring. Now it's a beehive of mothers, son, daughter, life. Every family has a man, even you. And even down in the brook, the underwater life is forever blowing bubbles. Here's a king who wears a bonnet with some spring daisies on. Even birds of a feather show their clothes off together. The sun's getting shinery to spotlight their finery. Spring, spring, spring. Each day is Mother's Day, the next day some other's day. Spring, the rabbits, spring, spring. Hear that summer goes out happy, oh my, my. It's so even mars their joy. From my top to my bottom, my, makes it hard to tell the truth from morn. Yes, there is spring discloses that's all one supposes. Wagging tails, rubbing noses, but it's no bed of roses. If all the storky pine, consider the porcupine who longs to blink. Even company is tricky, it can get a little sticky in the spring. Spring. the banjo is not normally considered a bebop jazz instrument. That was humor, folks. But when you're a young musician and you end up in jazz band settings, you're in a learning curve. You're learning the songs, you're learning the styles, you're learning things as you go along, and many times there will be older musicians to help you along in that process. I will never forget, I was playing with a jazz band in Orlando, and one of the guys on stage said, "Hey, we'll play Groovin' High." And I apparently had a deer in the headlights look, because I had no idea what that Groovin' High was. And the bass player, who became that moment a lifelong friend, he leaned over and said, "Just play Whispering." Now, this is a musician's joke because Groovin' High is the same chord patterns as Whispering. So as the fact is that if you're a banjo, four-string banjo player, you might know that Whispering is one of our favorite songs, kind of a standard in the four-string banjo world. Everything from nice little solos to banjo bands banging their brains out, they all have to play Whispering. If you're from California, you know all about that. Several months ago, Nathan's father and Nathan invited me over to the Oklahoma Jazz Hall of Fame, and I said, "Well, I better try to play something that is a jazz song." So we played it that night, and Shelby Eicher played a wonderful line on Groovin' High. We had some fun. So it's kind of now an arrangement. So this is Groovin' High and Whispering. You pick one, either one you like, I don't care, it doesn't matter. next song is very difficult, and not difficult, very different, but you might want to go to the restroom. It's honestly, it's pulling a fast one on these poor guys. Not you! Because I told you before, if I write a song, I usually start with a title. And this title was based back, I took a little bit of music theory in college, and the instructor said, when you start a song in a minor key, and then you end it in a major key, or from major to minor, it's called a Picardy third, this little change. That's called a Picardy third. And of course, I could barely stay awake for the class to start with, but when he got pick into my brain, I said, well, I play with a pick. And this Picardy third thing, I'm not really all that interested in, but I'm going to someday write a song called Picardy with a P-I-C-K. It's, of course, Picardy doesn't have a K in it. It starts out very slow and quite, well, I don't know, hopefully you'll like it. But it gets into a little thing where we swing a little bit, kind of like the Hot Club of France. And at that point in time, we'll give the guys a chance to play a few solos and things. So if you could give me, Nathan, a very dramatic Bose C.
Sure.
Just keep that up until Q. Hillman on the drums. It's my agent. And a salsa gig at midnight. I want to introduce Jake Johnson, sitting down here, the guy with the white sunglasses. Jake is a musicologist from the Oklahoma City University. And we live, or we work, several blocks apart. But it took Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio to bring us together this summer. They're doing a film called Killers of the Flower Moon that was set here in Oklahoma. It was kind of fun because we got to go over there and be in this film experience, which is exciting and exhausting. And you sit around for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And then they say, speed, action, and then it's all real. But it was a great experience. So Jake, nice to see you. I didn't know you liked banjo this much. We talked a little bit earlier about some of my favorite banjo players. Brad Roth is one of them. He is the modern embodiment of Eddie Peabody, and really, this type of banjo that I play, the tenor banjo, is not necessarily an instrument that is meant to play Eddie Peabody style stuff, but over a period of years you determine you have to play different styles and be able to on demand fulfill those countless requests for Eddie Peabody favorites that you get. This is a tough crowd. So we're going to do a couple of old 1920s songs that have that Eddie Peabody flavor, and I hope you enjoy. Couldn't ask for a nicer experience to be able to play for you all today. I'm being very honest, and I rarely am honest on stage, and I'm rarely candid on stage. But this is the most fun I've had all weekend, so thanks for that. And once again, it's fun because we've got great musicians. Tyler Jackson, Ken It's one of the stupid things you do when you're young. You do these very ambitious arrangements when you're like, 20, 25, 30 years old. And they're fast and, it's this craziness, absolute craziness. And then you have people who remember you when you were 25 years old, and they come out and expect that. Those of you who may fall into that category are about to be severely disappointed.